If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Jonathan Kuminga just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. What if I told you that one of the greatest reunions in NBA history just got shut down before it could even start? Yes, we're talking about Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry. A reunion that fans have been dreaming about for years, a partnership that dominated the league and brought Golden State multiple championships. The whispers were there. The speculation was real. Could Durant find his way back to the Bay Area to finish what he started with Steph Curry? Well, the answer is finally here, and it's not the one Warriors fans were hoping for. Kevin Durant has reportedly rejected the chance to reunite with Curry and the Warriors, sending shockwaves through the NBA community. And while the league is buzzing about Durant's decision, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr is making waves of his own by making a bold declaration about Jonathan Kuminga's role in Golden State's locker room moving forward. Let's unpack this, because the story is bigger than just a rumor. It's about legacies, rivalries, locker room dynamics, and the future of a franchise that has defined an entire era of basketball. Now, for context, Durant's history with the Warriors is legendary. Back in 2016, after that infamous 73-9 season and Golden State's collapse in the finals against LeBron James and the Cavaliers, Durant stunned the world by joining forces with Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. For 3 years, they were practically unstoppable. 2 championships, a third finals appearance, and an offense that redefined how basketball was played. But Durant's time with the Warriors ended in 2019 after a devastating Achilles injury in the finals against Toronto. He chose to move on, teaming up with Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. And since then, the NBA world has never stopped asking, could KD ever go back? Over the last few months, chatter has been building. With Durant's Suns struggling to establish themselves as a true contender despite having a star trio of Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, speculation grew that Durant might consider a move. And of course, the Warriors were right there in the conversation. Imagine Curry and Durant linking up one more time, bringing that lethal pick and roll, spacing, and playoff dominance back to the floor. Even Warriors players like Draymond Green publicly entertained the idea in the past. But according to multiple reports, Durant himself has shut that door. The opportunity was there. Golden State was willing to talk. Steph Curry himself was said to be intrigued, but Durant has rejected the idea of returning to the Warriors. Why? Well, insiders suggest that Durant wants to write his own legacy outside of Golden State's shadow. While his championships with the Warriors are undeniable, critics have always pointed out that he joined a ready-made dynasty. Some say Durant still feels the sting of those conversations, the endless debates about how his rings don't count the same way because he joined Curry's team. For Durant, rejoining Golden State now might only reinforce that narrative, especially at this stage of his career where every move is tied to his legacy. There's also the human side. Durant's relationship with the Warriors organization ended on a complicated note. His clashes with Draymond Green were very public, with that infamous sideline argument against the Clippers still fresh in people's minds. Even though time has healed some of those wounds, it seems Durant isn't eager to go back to that environment. He wants to compete, yes, but he wants to do it on his terms. And so, for now, Warriors fans dreaming of a Curry-Durant encore will have to let that go. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While the Durant saga was unfolding, Steve Kerr made headlines of his own by making a bold and very clear statement about the future of Jonathan Kuminga in the Warriors' locker room. If Durant isn't walking through that door, Golden State knows they have to build from within. And Kerr seems to believe Kuminga is central to that plan. Kuminga, the athletic young forward, has been a polarizing figure since entering the league. His raw talent is undeniable: explosive dunks, defensive versatility, and the ability to score in transition make him one of the most exciting young players on the roster. But questions have always lingered. Does he have the consistency, the maturity, and the trust of the coaching staff to become a franchise cornerstone? Last season, there were even rumors that Kuminga was frustrated with his role, worried that he wasn't being given enough opportunity to shine alongside Curry, Klay, and Draymond. Steve Kerr, however, has made it very clear Kuminga's place in the Warriors' locker room is not up for debate. According to Kerr, Kuminga is not only part of Golden State's present, but a huge piece of its future. The coach has reportedly told the front office and his veteran leaders that Kuminga's growth is now a priority, and that the team must empower him instead of holding him back. That's a massive declaration, especially in a franchise that has been so heavily defined by its veteran core. Think about what that means. For years, the Warriors' identity has been about Curry's shooting, Draymond's defense, and Klay's clutch scoring. Every young player that came in from James Wiseman to Moses Moody was often seen as someone who had to fit into the existing system, rather than someone the system would adapt to. But with Kuminga, Kerr is sending a different message. He's saying, this kid is part of the identity now. He belongs in the locker room, he belongs in the culture, and he deserves a real chance to carry the torch when the time comes. For the fans, this is both exciting and nerve-wracking. Exciting because Kuminga's potential is sky-high. He could be the bridge from the Curry era to the next generation. Nerve-wracking because it means the Warriors are at a crossroads. Durant isn't coming to save the day. The veterans are getting older. The payroll is massive. So Kerr is betting big on Kuminga being ready to take that next step. Imagine the dynamic now in Golden State's locker room. You've got Curry, still the heartbeat of the team, chasing another title. You've got Draymond, fiery as ever, pushing everyone to compete. You've got Klay, fighting to prove he's still got more left in the tank after injuries. And now, you've got Kuminga, officially endorsed by Steve Kerr as a vital piece of the future. That creates both pressure and opportunity. Will Kuminga rise to the challenge? Can he balance learning from the veterans while also carving out his own leadership role? Those are the questions that will define Golden State's next chapter. Let's circle back to Durant for a moment. His rejection of the Warriors could actually end up being a blessing in disguise. If Durant had returned, it might have brought short-term success, yes, but it could also have stalled the development of players like Kuminga. Instead, Durant's decision forces the Warriors to double down on their youth and make tough decisions about how to balance the roster. It's a reality check that this dynasty cannot rely on the past forever. So, where does this leave the Warriors? On one hand, losing out on Durant is disappointing. There's no sugarcoating that. A Curry-Durant reunion would have been must-watch television and a nightmare for the rest of the league. But on the other hand, it creates a clear narrative. This team's future lies in empowering Jonathan Kuminga, in finding ways to maximize his game, and in making sure the transition from the Curry era to whatever comes next isn't a steep drop-off. And with Steve Kerr making that declaration so publicly, it sets the tone for everyone in the locker room. This is Kuminga's time to grow. Warriors fans are left with mixed emotions. Some are frustrated thinking about what could have been if Durant had chosen differently. Others are excited finally seeing the team commit to its young talent instead of always chasing the next big name. One thing is certain though, the story of the Golden State Warriors is far from over. Curry still has gas left in the tank. Kerr still believes in the system, and Kuminga now has the chance of a lifetime to prove he belongs not just in the locker room, but in the history of this franchise. The NBA is a league of constant change. Superstars move. Dynasties rise and fall. But the Warriors have always been unique. They don't just chase talent, they build culture. Durant's rejection is proof that the past can't be recreated, no matter how much fans might want it. But Kerr's words about Kuminga? That's about the future. And in a way, that might be the most important story of all. Because one day, Steph Curry will step away. One day, Draymond Green won't be anchoring the defense. One day, Klay Thompson won't be hitting threes in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. And when that day comes, Warriors fans will look back at moments like this when Steve Kerr stood up and said Jonathan Kuminga belongs, when Kevin Durant chose to stay away, when the team doubled down on its own future. Those are the choices that will decide if Golden State's dynasty truly has another chapter left to write. And so, as the dust settles, the message is clear. Kevin Durant has chosen his path, away from the Warriors, determined to chase his own legacy. The Warriors, meanwhile, are choosing theirs, investing in youth, putting their faith in Kuminga, and trusting that Curry's leadership can guide the transition. Two different decisions, two different stories, but both shaping the future of the NBA. So, what do you think? Did Kevin Durant make the right call by rejecting a reunion with Curry? And can Jonathan Kuminga rise to the challenge now that Steve Kerr has put his full confidence in him? One thing's for sure, the Golden State Warriors will once again be at the center of the NBA's biggest drama.